Swings, a few days on from Tuesday night's FA Cup victory, and you said after the game you were really proud of the lads' performances, but after reflecting a few days on you must be really over the moon with it.
We are, yeah, we are. That's objective. We've said all along, when you're in these competitions, you want to get as far as you possibly can. Win and breeds confidence. So, yeah, good result, but that's been put to bed now. We've got a tough period of games coming up in various competitions, and we need to all focus on Forest Green.
Did you notice coming into training after the Wycombe game that there was a real lift in, I suppose, in the mood, especially after last Friday's defeat? Or
we've not had much contact time, to be honest. Like, you'll know, we got back at 5:15 in the morning Wednesday, so usually that's a day off, but it doesn't really become a day off when you get back at that time. It's that day's written off, if you like. So the lads were in yesterday. The lads that played were looked after, trying to prepare them physically more than anything as best as we can. And today we'll be back on the training pitch and working towards Forest Green. So contact time with the players has been minimal. But I suppose that's the hectic period of League Two football.
And he said we moved straight on the next game, Forest Green Rovers at Victoria Park, and they're real high flying this season. Well, what are you expecting from them in another real tough game?
Absolutely, you've nailed it there. Tough game, unbeaten away from home. We've got the best home record. I think they've got the second best away record. The top of the league. They are a good side. They play some good football. They've got good attacking players. So I'm expecting a really tough game. Different to Tuesday night's game. Probably more in the mould of a Newport County, if you like, but really tough. But I'm confident our players can stand up to it.
I know we had obviously that defeat last Friday, but we talk about the home record and how fantastic it's been and how our performances have been so good. In your career at Hartlepool United, do you ever remember a team having such a good home record and really thriving playing at home this much?
We were going back a long way. We had a really good record where we went something like 22 games unbeaten or something like that a fair few years ago. So within the mix of that, the chances are we've had a lot of home games as well. But momentum like that can take you a long way. Yes, we've had a little bit of like I mentioned, a kick in the teeth against Newport County, but it's important how you respond to that. It's a fresh game. We've still got a magnificent home record, regardless of it being now broken last Friday night. But it's time to put another run together.
What do you expect from your players to bounce back from that last league game?
I expect them to do the majority of what they did in the Newport County game, if I'm honest. I thought for periods within that we played absolutely fine. Probably played just as well as games that we've won at home. Once you start playing these or the better sides, the top sides in League Two, you've got to accept that they're gonna hurt you on occasions. They're gonna have decent players. What you've got to try and do is minimise the impact that them players can have and limit the damage of when they are on top in games. We didn't do that with obviously the set play that we conceded, and then the last injury time goal was hard to take. But like I say, I thought there was times within the game that we impacted them, and there was times in the game that they impacted us, and I think that's going to be similar again tomorrow.
The games are coming thick and fast. Newport, Wycombe, Forest Green, Swindon then next Tuesday. How hard is it for you as interim manager to keep your players in such a good condition with all these games that we perform the best we really can?
Yeah, that's the tough part of it. That's why we've got Jake in the building, who's been excellent since he's been in. Puts a plan together that makes sure the players are as on top physically as they possibly can. Obviously the medical department come into that as well. But yeah, that's the key to it. It's freshening up in between games. It's trying to get as much contact time with the players without being overloading them on the pitch, because this is a long season and we're not even at Christmas time yet. A busy period in the next month or so. But we've got some fit lads as well. We've got some lads that are robust. We've got lads that have proven to play the majority of games in the season, and we're probably going to need that again this season.
And you mentioned now on Tuesday night we see Crawford and Smith and then Mike Fondock come on in. Does that show the strength and depth that you've got in your squad?
It shows that we've got players ready to step up now. Then when them opportunities arise, that's down to the players. I've been there myself. When you're out of the side, whether it be 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or a full game, whatever time you have on the pitch, that's your time to impact it. And the two lads you mentioned first there, Crofts and Smudger, they come on, probably didn't have massive amounts of game time, but in the little game time that we were on, showed that they were important players for us and contributed to that performance. So I expect the 7 lads that are named on the sub to be ready. Whatever time they get on the pitch, that's down to them to impact the game.
Back to Forest Green then, and obviously with Wickham's game on Tuesday night and all the busy schedule, have you had a real time to sit down, analyse them and kind of figure out what they're going to be like and what they're going to do? Because it's all well and good saying the high flying and scoring goals, but it's really the nitty gritty of how we can get 3 points, isn't it?
We'll be ready. We'll be ready. I don't think. Well, I think sometimes you can overanalyse teams. The majority of what we do is about us, but you've got to pay some teams respect as well. It's not just about turning up blind and hoping we put on a performance that'll go and be the top of the league. I personally have watched a couple of their games. I think I know where their strengths lie. I think I know where we might be able to exploit certain areas. But I've said this previously as well, it's alright having a plan, executing the plan's a different man.
Injury news then, how are we looking in terms of Gav Holohan and anything else that might have been picked up Tuesday night?
Yeah, it'll be clear after today. Like I say, we've had minimal contact time with the lads that played Tuesday, so there was a few knocks, aches, pains, just general stuff. The majority will train today. If they come through today, then absolutely great. Gav Holohan will join the group for the first time today. Saturday might come a little bit too early for him, it might not. We'll check on him after the game. Cookie's close to returning back to training, and bar that we've got, I suppose, a clean bill of health bar Tyler Burry, who hopefully will join us in the next couple of weeks.
I just wanted to mention Tyler, reports came out a few days ago that the Millwall manager said that he's been pushed back almost a month. Have you heard from Millwall at all?
The medical staff have, they're liaising with him, Jake's liaising with him, see where he hits his markers. I've been there myself with a hamstring injury, you can feel great, and just one little training session here or one gym session and doubts creep into your mind whether you're 100%. So I'm not 100% sure where he's at, but as far as I know, it's no major issues from our point of view. Clearly, the sooner we can have him back, the better, because he was a key player for us before his injury, but we don't want him back at the expense of losing him long term, and obviously Millwall are in agreement with that as well.
Sweeney.